I had always been a night owl, preferring the stillness of the late hours to the chaos of the day. My small apartment sat on the edge of the city, overlooking a patch of dense woods. It was quiet, peaceful, until the knocking started. At first, I thought it was my imagination, a faint tap, tap, tap at my window. I ignored it, thinking it must be a branch swaying in the wind. But when I looked outside, the trees were perfectly still. No wind, no branches near my window, just darkness. The knocking came again the next night, this time louder. I tried to rationalize it. Maybe a bird, maybe a squirrel. But the sound was too deliberate, too rhythmic. I told myself not to be paranoid, but when it happened again the third night, I decided to check. I waited by the window, heart pounding, phone in hand, flashlight ready. The sound began. Tap, tap, tap. My hand trembled as I pulled back the curtain. There was nothing there, just the woods staring back at me, their shadows stretching long and menacing under the dim moonlight. But as I let the curtain fall back into place, I saw it, a handprint, smudged and faint as though someone, or something, had pressed their hand against the glass. The shape was human, but off. The fingers were too long, the palm too narrow. I scrubbed the glass clean the next morning, convincing myself it was a prank. Maybe a neighborhood kid messing around. I even laughed it off, feeling silly for being so scared. That night, I stayed up late again, trying to focus on a movie to distract myself. Midnight came and went without a sound, and I started to relax. Maybe it really was just my imagination. Then the knocking came back. This time it wasn't at the window. It was at my door. The sound was heavier now, more insistent. Knock, knock, knock. I froze, the remote slipping from my hand. My door didn't have a peephole, so I couldn't see who or what was on the other side. "Who's there?" I called out, my voice shaking. Silence. "Hello?" No response, just a low creak, as though someone was shifting their weight against the door. I grabbed a kitchen knife, every nerve in my body screaming to run, to hide, to do anything but stay frozen in place. Slowly, I approached the door, trying to steady my breath. The knocking stopped. I pressed my ear to the wood, listening. Nothing. But then, from the other side, I heard it. A whisper. It wasn't a word. It wasn't even a sound I could place. It was something primal, guttural, like the rasp of dry leaves scraping against each other. My legs moved before I could think. I ran to my room, locking the door behind me, knife still clutched in my hand. I sat in the corner, waiting, listening. The knocking never came again, but when I finally dared to open the door the next morning, I saw it. Scratched into the wood in those same unnaturally long marks was a message. "Let me in. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe to my channel."